Hello geometry students, today we are going to learn about section 11.1 from Big Idea Math Geometry, Circumference and Arc Lengths. That is on page number 314 to 317 from your student journal, and we are going to learn three things today. First is circumference of a circle. Second thing, arc length, and then converting between degrees and radians. So let's move to very first thing. So here are circumference. Basically it's all about circle. So if you have a circle here, let me draw a circle. All right, that's a circle. And then if this is the center here, suppose, so circumference is all the whole red part. So circumference is the red part, the boundary. So we can say the boundary of the circle, boundary length of the circle. So all the red one, how long is that? That is the circumference. Then arc length is basically a part of the circle. Like if I'm taking from here to here, if I'm just talking about how long is that, if my interest is to figure out how long is that, circumference is the whole length of the circle, but arc length is what is the length. So a length of a part of a circumference, length of a part of a circumference, of a circumference. And then we have radian. Radian is basically when we have a circle, like if this is a circle. So in general, in degrees, what's the total degree? If you talk about the angle here, like this, if you're talking about the angle, how much is that angle? That's 360 degrees. And if you talk about radian, so same way, the radian, the total radian is, if I'm talking about this line, so starting from here to here, that is 2 pi. That is 2 pi. And if you just talk about this much, that is pi. So that's radian, the measurement of the angle formed at center. So let's move to our very first thing here. Our very first thing is we are talking about circumference of a circle. Circumference, as I told you, the whole outer length of a circle. So you have two formulas here. Two formulas are here: c equal to pi d and c equal to 2 pi r. These are two formulas, and let me explain you. C is pi d. Pi d means pi times diameter. You just multiply the diameter and other one, or you have 2 pi r. That is 2 pi times, that is radius. And how do you get it? It's basically c equal to pi d, and diameter is, so explanation for this is here. D is actually, diameter is twice of radius. When you rewrite it, it's 2 pi r. So that's the explanation. So both are same here. So it's pi d, let me use other color, that's pi d, and that's 2 pi r. So you have to remember that. Depending on whatever is given, you use that, up to you. And also keep in mind that if your circle is given, this is your circle, so that's your radius, and the twice of radius, that is d. All right, so here you have your formula on right hand side, c equal to pi d or 2 pi r. And here pi is either, sometimes the question they ask you leave the answer in terms of pi. So your answer would be, if they say in terms of pi, c in terms of pi, so it means it could be 2 pi, 3 pi. You don't plug it in. All right, And in general, pi is how much? That's 22 over 7, or rounded to 3.14. But if you're using pi, always use this value or use the pi button in your calculator so that it doesn't give a rounded. Never use this one. Don't use this one. Use this so that it gives you accurate value. Pi button in the calculator. All right. So let's move to the next page. So here we're going to talk about arc length. Arc length is just like a part of a circumference. Is basically what? It's part of a circumference. Part of C. All right, circumference. So if I'm just in the right hand side, if I just want to find out how much is this, how long is that. So what we have to do, basically, it's that um, it's basically, if this is what you do is, given length of a given arc to the circumference is equal to the ratio of measure of the arc to 360. So easier way is to figure out that this out of the whole, the measurement of arc AB over, you can say the whole thing is what? That's 2 pi r. So measurement of arc AB, this thing over 2 pi r, that's given here, that is equal to, if you just talk in terms of angle here, if I'm talking about angle, so angle will be here, the angle is, this is angle given, if the angle is the measurement of arc AB is the same thing, the arc of that, whatever the measure, it's the central angle formed here, over the total angle is how much? Total is 360. So you just write down the expression here, but in order to do that, here it is, you just cross multiply or just multiply by 2 pi r both sides. So if you're finding arc length of the given arc AB, if you're finding this arc AB, that's equal to, you just write down the fraction of the angle. This, what is the angle out of 360 degrees? This out of 360, measurement of arc AB over 360 here, times 2 pi r. That's the formula. So you just take a fraction, something like that. All right. So for this one, suppose if I'm finding my let me give you an example. That's my circle, and someone says, all right, so there is my center here, and that's my arc, and that's something. Suppose if I say this is 110 degrees and this is 5. If I want to write my expression and I want to know the arc length, this arc length, this is, suppose this is AB. If I want to find out, so if I say arc length of AB, that's going to be what? If I want to find out, what I have to do, first write down the fraction for the angle. So this is out of 360. So that's going to be 110 out of 360 times then 2 pi r. 2 pi and r is what? 5. You solve this expression. So when you solve it, that's going to be your arc length. All right. So I'm not solving it, just showing you how to do it. Let's move to next part. It's all of last one. It's converting between degrees and radian. So you need to sometimes convert degrees to radian and radian to degrees. All right. So here your first one is degrees to radian and then radian to degree. So this is degree to radian and this is radian to degree. All right. So what you have to do, basically they're equivalent. So here 2 pi radians and 360, if you have to multiply, what you have to do, you have to degree to radian. So you have to use a fraction where degree is in denominator. So it's going to be 2 pi over 360 or pi times 180, because when you just this can be written as further 2 pi radian over 2 times 180. So you cancel and you get this thing. So because that way you do it. All right, so keep in mind, if degree to radian, so degree is supposed to be in the bottom here. How to remember, that's supposed to be in bottom, radian part is going to be on top. And when you're doing radian to degree, so radian supposed to be in bottom, so pi over 180 going to be switched here, flipped here, it's 180 over pi. All right, so that you have to do. So keep in mind, again, if let me write degree to radian, you have to do it, then multiply by I told you, if you're doing degree to radian, so it is degree supposed to be on bottom, so it's going to be 180 and pi here on top, pi radian. If you're doing radian to degree, then radian is supposed to be on bottom, so you have to be pi radian and degree on top 180 degrees. So you see both are same, only they're just flipped. The way you do it means, I don't mean that they're exactly same, means, but they're the same kind of thing, but you have to flip when you're doing radian to degree and degree to radian, and you multiply it to the given value and you get your desired answer. So we are done with the notes of 11.1. I would be posting another video with the question. Till then, stay safe. Thank you so much.